Thank you so much for joining us tonight and to celebrate Girls on the Run, Bexar County's 10-year anniversary. I'm Stephanie Serna, I'll be your host tonight. Quickly, I wanted to thank Angela Caporale for playing so beautifully. It was an honor to hear her. Again, I'm Stephanie Serna, I'll be your host for this evening. I wanted to tell you what this program has, the impact it had on me. I started as a volunteer coach back in 2012. I was at Hawthorne Academy. And then as the years changed, my role changed with the program. I was I went in to become a running buddy. And then after that, I think I called up the executive director. I was like, what do you need help with? And I helped with setup. But I always wanted to have some part of Girls on the Run, and that's because it meant a lot to me, and I saw the impact that it had on the girls. And by the end of the program, at that 5K, it was so exciting to see how excited they were and the confidence they gained throughout that program. And starting the beginning of Girls on the Run, it was very neat to see. They only started with 36 participants, and it grew to 480. So that was 36 participants at Hawthorne, the first girls, and it grew to 486. That was the fall of 2019. That was right before COVID. So a big growth, and of course, lots of growth to go. Just wanted to say that tonight you're going to see some amazing interviews from coaches, from participants, from volunteers, and these are the reasons why the program is still going on so strong. We're also going to have a little bit of fun tonight, so from now until the end of the program, I want to tell you a little bit about how you can play the Girls on the Run Bexar County Trivia game with us. There's no login or app. You just go to the Decade of Dreams site. That website will be on your screen. There, it should be right there. And also, if you're looking on through Facebook, it'll be below in the comment section of your Facebook page as well. So just a hint, throughout our program, we're going to be giving clues here and there, so you'll have the answers to those questions if you want to do really well and get a great score. Keep in mind, we have a lot of prizes for you guys as well. There's gift cards to Chick-fil-A, Mama Margie's, of course, Lily's Bakery, Starbucks, and Whataburger, of course, and Girls on the Run Fiesta medals. I have one right here. Let's see. It's like right there. Okay, it's really pretty. So don't forget, you can also get that as well. It has a pair of running shoes on the bottom, very appropriate. I love that. So those are some of the prizes that will be going to the top 20 scores for our trivia game tonight. There's also 3 incredible gift packs that we have. This will go to the top 3 donors of the night. So it's 1 night stay at La Cantera. That's one of them. Also a 2-night stay at Charles Nagelin House. That's another one. And a mini session package from Pictures Us. Plus we'll be sending out these medals as well to the top 3. So a very good reason to donate. And speaking of donate, let's see if we have this on your screen. To go to Girls on the Run, you can go text DREAM, D-R-E-A-M, to the number on your screen, or you can visit the link on your screen for more information. And as of the beginning of the program, I was hearing that we started the evening with more than $700 in donations. So thank you very much for donating to this awesome program. I want to start the program, and I want to introduce a very special guest, Minka Mansanji, Executive Director of Girls on the Run and founding board member, and also the 6 coaches, we're the first 6 coaches, so thank you so much for joining us. I want to tell you that Minka, she became Executive Director in March of 2011, just 6 months after Girls on the Run received 501c3 status, and Minka has helped pave the way since the very beginning and has bring her own talent to the program. So we have a lot to cover. We have a lot of questions for you. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Let's see, what do we start with first? I think we have right here. Let's go ahead and talk about the first question, which is from Susan in San Antonio. So a lot of people want to know this, and actually I do too. We've been doing this for all these years, and I've never asked you, what was the inspiration to start the program 10 years ago?
Right. Well, 10 years ago in 2010, the community here in San Antonio was already looking as a whole to see how do we make San Antonio healthier. And so Girls on the Run, our organization, just like so many organizations like us, it takes an entire community of people to make it run. We're volunteer driven, so we've always needed volunteers to help us do what we're doing. And that was the same thing at the beginning. So there happened to be a group of women who had already heard about Girls on the Run. It is a national program. There are over 200 councils in the country. We are one. We're a 501c3, so we're independent. We do all our fundraising ourselves. We look for all our volunteers ourselves. but we share the same wonderful curriculum across the country. So there were people who already heard about the program and they wanted to bring it here. And as it turned out, I just happened to read a little blurb about this program in a magazine, and it said, hey, wouldn't you like to volunteer and help girls learn how to run and build confidence at the same time? And I thought, yeah, that'd be fun to volunteer. Let's see if there's a program in San Antonio. And there wasn't. And so I ended up, through a whole roundabout way of email, getting in touch with the people who were interested, and they just happened to be having their first meeting to see what we could do to get the program started. And room full of 30 people at Hawthorne Academy got together to say, here's what it's going to take. And 9 people settled in and said, let's do it. And so here we are.
On that note, what's the biggest change you've seen over the years from the very beginning till now?
Yeah, so in the beginning, nobody knew who we were. And so there was a lot of community outreach, a lot of knocking on doors and asking people for their support. Do they know about Girls on the Run? What should the community outreach look like? Can we have a program at their school? And so there was a lot of asking at the beginning. And now, I mean, we still do a lot of community outreach. People still need to know about Girls on the Run. But as of just a few years ago, it's turned out that people started coming to us. And so I think through word of mouth, people heard about how the program impacted the girls and the coaches, and word just traveled from school to school and place to place. And so now we have more people who actually want to start the program at their locations.
Speaking of that, now at 36 campuses, is that correct?
Yeah, so we were, well, you know, the pandemic has made things a little crazy and a little difficult this particular season. But that's right, we were at 36 campuses in
fall of 2000.
And actually where we started in spring of 2020. Yep.
And Mika, what does it mean for you personally to see the lives of the participants transform through the program?
So personally, you know, before Girls on the Run, I never used the word joy in my vocabulary. And, you know, that's our mission. Our mission is to inspire joy, health, and confidence in girls. It's mind, body, and spirit, right? That's what our program does. And so I find a lot of joy in seeing the girls succeed and in seeing the girls grow and learn how to be better people and form healthy relationships with each other and with adults in the program. And so personally, it just brings me a lot of joy.
I know you probably have a lot of stories to share, but is there one particular that has really impacted you in the past 10 years?
Yeah, there's a lot. I mean, there's a lot of stories, but I think, you know, one of the first middle schools we were at, we have the 2 programs for the younger girls, 3rd through 5th grade, and then older girls, 6th through 8th. And, you know, we end our season with the 5K, and it was one of the early races. We get to the park super early, and we're all there to set up, and it's 6 o'clock, and it's really dark, and we forgot to bring lights, and so how do we park the cars and get the headlights on so we can see what we're doing? And usually, you know, it's the volunteers who are there setting everything up, and we ask the girls and their families to come later when things are set up. And so about 6 in the morning, this family comes, and they're standing in the dark. And so they're just, you know, standing there, and I'm thinking, oh my God, did I tell them the wrong time? Are people going to start coming early? What's going on? I want everyone to have fun and be happy, so I'm getting a little bit nervous. And I find out later, they're just happy to be there and watch. And I find out later that this girl, her parents were so happy to have her in the program. And because when she was in, you know, this starting middle school, she was struggling with a lot of friendship issues and a lot of just issues. And she was actually suicidal. She was contemplating suicide and hadn't really talked about it to anyone, hadn't really felt comfortable talking to anyone until she got into our program. And the coaches there had created a safe space for her to feel comfortable sharing some of the feelings she was having and trying to work through what she needed to do with them. And the coaches, of course, notified her parents, and they were able to talk it through and get the girl some help. But her parents weren't even aware at the time that she was feeling as bad as she was. And so they told us later, you know, this program saved her life. And that's why they were there. They were just so happy to show up. So Yeah.
And then I know that had a great impact on you, and you're very thankful to, of course, all the volunteers. And just briefly, you'd like to see it, of course, grow in the next 10 years as well?
Well, we would. I mean, we've touched the lives of a lot of girls in a lot of the different districts here, and we're a school-based program. We would like to see the programs grow out of schools into YMCAs, into Boys and Girls Clubs, into community-based centers, and we would like to see it grow into other counties and other schools. We know there's a lot of schools in San Antonio, but we want to be where any girl who wants the program, where she can take it.
Yeah. Well, speaking of that, that leads us to the next section where we're talking about the impact on the girls.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mika, so much. So Girls on the Run has come a very long way, like you were talking about in the last 10 years. And one of the things that remains consistent, though, is the impact that the program has on the girls. And right now we're going to go ahead and take a look at a video to see just how much it's impacted their lives.
Who we help to build today is who grows up to be these women, you know? So if we build these strong, powerful girls who are able to think for themselves, able to, you know, shut out this negative talk and postings and all these things that they're hit with, even in childhood anymore, you know, that helps them when they grow up to be teenagers, to help, you know, so that they're not impacted by all these terrible things as teenagers, so that when they do grow up on their own, you know, they have all of these skills, they have this confidence, they have, you know, this self-love, they have all of these things that they need to just really just go into the world and just, you know, be this powerful, amazing woman, and that's what we need in this world.
What we try to do is give girls tools that will help them resolve conflict, which is natural and inevitable in life, but resolve that conflict in a healthy way. And we want it to be fun, and so that's where running comes in. Running is the movement, it's the goal-setting piece that helps girls learn that they can set goals, that they can reach goals, that sometimes they're going to have difficulty getting there, and that's okay because that's life. So how do we move forward? How do we keep going even when there are times we feel like we're moving backward? Ultimately, we keep going and we work toward an end goal. And for the girls in the program, that end goal is the 5K race.
Seeing the girls finish the 5K and the accomplishment that they have, and it's not even about running the actual 5K, it's just the idea of setting a goal and working for it and getting there, and just how proud they are it's really special. There's no words to describe how excited they are at the end.
When she finished, she's like, I can't believe it. I did never think I'd ever complete a 5K. She was so excited that she was able to accomplish that. So I think that it just gives them a goal, and they can reach that goal. It doesn't matter how fast they do it. It doesn't matter how fast if they walk the whole thing or run the whole thing, but they are able to accomplish something.
The lessons that she covered in the course of the Girls on the Run program were, because the parents do get a copy of those, and so I was able to look at some of the lesson plans, and it was interesting that things would come through in the lessons that she was actually dealing with in real time. And so even though they may not see it as learning because it's fun and it's involved in its activities, for her, we just really saw her blossom and change and learn how to handle some of the negative emotions that came with the challenges at school with other students. And so we got real supportive. She loved the running. Suddenly a child that liked to lay around and be a couch potato wanted to get out and put on her shoes and run. And so we were really excited at the positive changes.
I think adults realize that their girls become more empathetic towards others, and I think they see that in their daily interactions at home, and the girls are just more joyful when they come home, and they really do get something out of the meeting and the love that's spread through Girls on the Run.
She struggled socially, and it was really neat to see how the other girls embraced her. She walked. That's just what she did. She was a walker. But she struggled on even completing a couple laps at first. and the girls would get behind her and literally like hold her hands and run her into the finish line every time, and they would chant her name, and just to see the joy that it brought Trinity, and she would look around and see these people that supporting her that she never had before. She was so happy the whole time, and she was just skipping and hopping, and it was really neat to see her, the growth in her that came from the other girls and how they would support her and push her through to the end of practice or the end of the first 5K or any of those things.
The girls are all, they become so inclusive of anyone. Anyone who sets foot in our gym during practice, they just want to invite them.
It's very fun. You make new friends. You get to do a lot of fun activities. I just felt a lot happier and less stressed. And I felt like I knew how to deal with things. And my mind is just focused on running, getting to the end, and you just forget about everything that's actually going around you. You just feel free.
This gives them a small group opportunity to kind of practice coming out of their shell, practice building some of that self-confidence, and in a way that's fun and engaging for them, and it's a safe place.
It's a personal satisfaction thing with watching a girl blossom and come to realize that she can do anything she wants to do.
I look forward to seeing how our girls just bloom. I look forward to seeing how they start with maybe not feeling like they can do this, not feeling that, or feeling that maybe the race is just so far away and it's going to be hard. I look forward to seeing how they become empowered from the day they come in for the first meeting at our gym to the day they cross that finish line.
To see them come out of their shyness, to see them become friends with girls they probably would have never met before, just to see those life changes in them is what keeps me coming back.
The shy girl who didn't want to talk to anybody comes in and is now the leader of the group and the social butterfly and gets better grades and does all these things. And it's those are just the visual impacts. Those aren't even the things that you don't see what's happening inside of her. And then all that we're going to do is just continue to build on that. If she is powerful and strong and amazing as, an elementary school kid, imagine how much more that's going to grow as she grows. And so, I think that's just the lasting impact that Girls on the Run really has, is that, we really have the opportunity to just change an entire generation of women, and it's awesome.
And you just heard some powerful statements about the impact this program has had on the girls in this area. And, it's grown throughout the years, and in some cases it has come full circle. So joining me right now is Christina and Andrea Pablos. And Christina, let me tell you a little bit about her. So she was one of the very first participants with Girls on the Run, and you were in 4th grade at Cambridge Elementary. This was the fall of 2011 when you first started. Thank you guys for joining us, by the way. So Christina decided that she wanted to make sure that her sister, Andrea, could also enjoy this program as well. That's just so awesome. So can you tell me more about what you did from there?
Yeah, so I remember from Girls on the Run, the things that I learned were fitness, friendship, and fun. And actually after my season in 4th grade, we moved to Austin, so we were away from San Antonio for a while. And then when we moved back, Andrea was just starting 5th grade, and she was looking for new ways to meet people. And I was like, I got it, Girls on the Run. And so it's really been great to see her grow in her fitness, going from running 2 laps to the 5K at the end of the season, and then meeting so many great girls.
And also, thinking back to 4th grade you, what is it that you remember most about Girls on the Run that stuck with you and made you want to come back and made you want to, bring your sister into the program?
I think that it was the community. I really enjoyed being able to get to know girls that were older than me and younger than me. And then I just thought that would be a great opportunity for Andrea to just meet as many people as possible.
Go to Andrea real quick. So Andrea, what was it like being coached by your sister?
It was really fun. It was also really inspiring how she was a leader to all those other girls, and made me really proud.
And I understand you guys ran the first 5K together.
Yes.
How did that go?
That was really cool too. I remember we were starting out, and then whenever we were crossing the finish line, I was just like overwhelmed with nostalgia because I was like kind of reliving my moments, and it was really great to cross the finish line with my little sister.
And you're a freshman in college right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Did you find that you've carried those lessons to even now?
Absolutely. Well, there's one thing that we do in Girls on the Run, that no girl crosses the finish line by themselves, and I think that's really sweet. That everyone's super supportive, and I've definitely carried that on to my college and high school years, because as you get older, things get really competitive for sure, and so I kind of always carry with me just to be supportive to every single person that's there. So I think that's been really great in helping build my character, and hopefully those people that I've helped or whatever, that I've helped them as well.
And from your perspective now as a coach, what impact did you see Girls on the Run making on the girls on your own team?
On my own team, it was cool to see how at the first practice they'd run like 2 or 3 laps, and be like totally worn out, and they're like, oh, I can't do this. How are we going to be able to do the 5K? And the coaches and I were just trying to reinforce confidence, and like we're going to build up to it, and be able to see them go from running 2 laps to be able to run a 5K, and like running circles around all us coaches was really cool to see.
And you saw this in your sister as well.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
And speaking of that, what was your favorite lesson from Girls on the Run?
Well, one of the lessons was compromise, and whenever we used that lesson into one of our volunteer charities, and we were trying to find out what we were going to do, and we used the lesson compromise to figure out what we were going to do.
Did you see the other girls take a lot from that same lesson?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. And I wanted to ask you both, what would you say, yes, so we can answer one at a time, what would you say to another girl who might be interested to join Girls on the Run? I guess, do you want to start first?
Yeah, definitely do it. Mm-hmm. For sure do it. If you want friendship, fun, fitness, this is the place for you. And I remember whenever I was first starting, I was nervous to participate. But if, a girl out there is nervous to participate, just come to try it out. We'd love to have you, and I know that any Girls on the Run family will be as welcoming as possible.
What would you tell them?
I have to say the same thing. I made tons of friends there, and I learned a lot of things.
Very awesome. And we always say that Girls on the Run is more than running. So in your own words, tell me what it is.
Well, I think running is, there is the physical part, but there's also kind of mental in your head, and that you have to have confidence to know that you can get to the finish line. And I think Girls on the Run did a really good job at impacting girls and their confidence levels, and helping them build their endurance as well as their personality, and stuff like that.
And awesome. So I was going to ask you, your sister's a coach, and would you like to coach someday?
I definitely would, for sure.
Yeah. And then bring in some other girls as well.
Mm-hmm.
And you were just about to say, I think that it's more than running. What would you tell young girls?
Well, it's for sure more than running. It's a place to make friends, and it's just definitely more than running.
It's just like a great, absolutely safe place where everyone's very respectful, and I think they could all grow together by giving each other, compliments and helping build each other's confidence.
Definitely a place for lifelong friends. Mm-hmm. And of course, you guys are going to be lifelong friends. Thank you, Christina and Andrea, so much for joining us today. And we're going to go ahead and talk about, so we talked to you guys about the impact on the girls. Now we also have Girls on the Run. We depend on coaches so much. So inspiring joy, health, and confidence. So there's no denying that Girls on the Run has a similar impact on the volunteer coaches. So let's go ahead and take a look at this video.
The lessons the girls learn, I take into my life also. And, it's more than just a program for the girls. I think the coaches and the volunteers, the mentors, the organizers all get a lot out of it also.
As a coach, you're going to walk away with some amazing experiences, but you're going to walk away a different person every season. And that's the same thing with the participants. The girls will be completely different from day one till our 5K.
The curriculum isn't just for them, it's also for me. I find myself during my daily life thinking, you know, what would a GOTR girl do in this type of situation? So it's helped me out a lot.
It's things I wish I learned in school. It's programs that I wish I had, being able to teach these lessons to these girls, but also I'm learning those lessons at the same time and maybe getting more out of it than the girls are getting.
I give back to Girls on the Run, 10%, and it gives back to me like 110%.
So I started recruiting, I started inviting people, and I think it was the best decision because it not only brought our girls together as a team and helped them make friends, but it also helped me make friends. And now the people that coach with me are some of my closest friends.
I run a lot of the local races, and the coaches that I coach with now, are the little core group, have been at all these races before we knew each other. So once we started coaching together, like, hey, I remember you. So now we're on text messages and emails. Hey, are you running this race? Are you going to run this race? Will I see you there? Yes, I'll be there. All right, I'll be there. I'll cheer you on. We're going to do energy awards afterwards. And I am not the fastest runner, and that's okay. So most of the coaches are at the finish line before me, but they're there when I finish, and I can hear them yelling, go, Lori, way to go, you got this. So that's being able for the grown-ups to embody some of the traits of a Girls on the Run from the curriculum. I think that's awesome.
My experience with other volunteers has been nothing but positive in this program. No matter where I go, no matter what event we're doing, what project we're working on, everyone has been so welcoming.
The passion that our coaches have makes this organization special. I mean, I've never seen a group of women so collectively dedicated to something. Every single woman wants to be there, wants to be coaching, wants to make this impact, and that's huge. I mean, I think that makes it so unique. So it's been a really inspiring experience for myself.
And you just saw the impact there on the volunteer coaches, and they come from all walks of life. In fact, the volunteer coaches make up about 80% there are teachers who understand the importance of social emotional learning, and this is the kind of learning that they get through this program and the role that learning plays in the classroom. But there's also a lot of volunteers that are coming from outside the classroom, and we wanted to show you some volunteer coaches from Rogers Elementary. Now, they were strangers in the beginning, but when they got brought together, they began coaching in the spring of 2016. They were quickly formed a tight friendship with each other, and I got to experience that close up. I interviewed them through Zoom a few weeks ago, and I'd like to share that with you. Can you tell me a little bit about Girls on the Run and what makes it unique in this particular community?
I think in San Antonio in particular, there needs to be a big focus on health and wellness, just because culturally there's a lot of unhealthy diets and not a lot of emphasis on exercise and nutrition, as schools are cutting back their budgets and focusing on testing. Kids don't get as much physical activity. And so there's a lot of obesity, diabetes, prediabetes in our community. And so it's particularly important that we catch these kids early on so that they take this knowledge and better themselves and their families as well. They take these lessons home and hopefully share with them that, like, we need to be eating more fruits, we need to be eating more vegetables. Let's go out and walk on the weekend and engage their families and their communities.
I also think it's really important that the girls have a place to explore their physicality. We're in 2020 and we still don't give girls the same physical exploration experience that we give to boys. For them to learn how to do push-ups and learn how high they can jump, they're gonna be less limited in what they can see themselves doing in the future, just jumping around being silly at Girls on the Run. So I think it's really good for that.
Just giving them the confidence and the skills of how to be able to deal with difficult, situations that they're going to be encountering, the rest of their lives. I mean, we give them a little bit of a glimpse of it in the curriculum. It's managing their emotions and just being able to communicate. I mean, all of these skills that I think will continue to benefit them as they get older.
It's really like life skills and role modeling with a side of physical activity.
I like when we walk out at the end of practice, the coaches, and one of the coaches will say, like, did you hear so-and-so say this? And it's just, they're so funny at this age. Like, enjoying together, like, just the silliness of kids, even in, like, what can be really hard times is really life-affirming.
The other thing that I think is so important about the program is that it's accessible to every single girl that fits the age group that wants to participate, because Minka and her team have been amazing in understanding that, you know, while our girls and their families may not be able, you know, to pay the full amount that's needed to run the program, that they are so invested. And, you know, even if the parents contribute like $5 or $10, like that's a lot for a lot of our kids' families. And I just think of how many of those amazing girls we wouldn't have had on the team, you know, if cost was a barrier. So to me, that's just such an important part of the program.
And shoes and running clothes.
Yeah, I mean, so many of those girls didn't have their own shoes to be able to run. They had like old shoes that were too small, and it's amazing to see the kids' face, the girls' face light up when they're getting a new pair of shoes or new, you know, running shorts. I can just see how grateful that they are to have that.
The one encounter I will never forget is when we gave out shoes one practice, and the girl said, "Wait, so I'm giving these back to you at the end of the season, right?" And I said, "No, you get to keep them." And she was like, I was like, I have to take a moment because this is unreal. I mean, kids love getting new stuff, and I understand that, but like for her to think that she had to return a new pair of shoes, it just absolutely broke my heart.
And the girl who asked if, after we handed out tank tops, she asked if there were any extra, if she could take them home to her sister because they didn't have air conditioning. That was hard.
The girls, when we bring pizza, when we had our pizza party.
Oh my God, I can't even talk about that.
There's always leftovers. And she asked if she could bring some home for her grandmother so that she could have dinner.
So then Cassie started getting extra pizza.
How has Girls on the Run impacted you personally?
Well, we met each other. That's probably number one, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, husband and I are foster parents, and we literally had like 3 children dropped on our door 2 months ago in the middle of a pandemic. And do you know who like fed us and took care of us? It was Girls on the Run people.
I think in terms of the kind of the coaching team and us looking out for each other was always a big thing for me, because, you know, at the end of the day, like the girls are going to come and go through the program, but how do we like do as much as we can, make sure, you know, we can support the girls, but also I think supporting each other was also a big part of that too.
The opportunity to get out of my usual circles and, you know, make a difference for kids in the similar way that, you know, I had role models growing up, and it was really beneficial. So being able to continue the gift giving is really important for me.
Every season, there's a couple of girls who are going through something, and when they open up to you and tell you about it, invite you into their lives in that way, it goes beyond like what the lessons that we're trying to teach them are. Actually, Laura has really invested in building the relationship with other faculty and staff at Rogers and getting us involved with other school programs that are outside of Girls on the Run with the other grades, and just really embedding ourselves in that community.
Having those relationships with the other faculty has been so helpful, because when the girls come out and tell you something that you're just like, I have no idea how to deal with this. Like, what do I do? Then we already know who to reach to. But if we weren't connected to the school folks, then we'd have a lot less ability to influence anything.
We get calls now from the counselor who says this kid would be good in your program. Let me help them get registered. Let me get them set up.
Yeah, I think it shows the reputation of the program and the relationships that we built at the school. Is the counselors and teachers want their kids to be in the program because they know how much of a value it is.
Well, I think that shows the impact you guys have made. If it wasn't for the work that the families see you doing and what a positive impact you have on their girls, they wouldn't be calling you to say, hey, here's a girl who needs to join. So I think it's because of you guys and the love that you obviously have for them. Getting choked up. It shows, and it shows in the community, and it shows with you all and each other, and it's awesome.
When I walk into Rogers, like, I'm gonna be jumped on by children who want to hug me, and I work in a world where like everything is always an emergency and everyone is always angry and life or death that this brief get done by 5 o'clock. And then you walk into a place where people are actually facing some very serious actual emergencies and there's joy there. And that's a good thing to be reminded of.
In order to keep people from volunteering and then giving up or feeling like I'm too tired, I got things to do, it's rainy today, they really have to enjoy it at the end of the day. And so I think that's why we're all here, is that it's fun for us to be there.
Just to like see their faces light up and how excited they are to be there, and just to know how important it is to them to participate in this program, to me is what makes me keep coming back. I just love that.
An awesome group of women that I got to interview. I'm glad I had a chance to meet them. And if you want to watch their full interview, you can go to the Girls on the Run YouTube channel. And you can also go to girlsontheRunSanAntonio.org/Decade of Dreams. So I want to take a little break to go back and remind you that there is a trivia game going on. And there are top 20 trivia players right now. But I'm going to let you know what you get just in case you're one of those top 20. Don't forget, you get this nice Girls on the Run medal. And I mentioned in the beginning, it's really cool. It has pink tennis shoes down here. Just brings us back to what Girls on the Run. So that's a Fiesta medal. And then also we have $10 gift cards. We have them from Mama Margie's, Chick-fil-A, Whataburger, Starbucks, Lily's Bakery as well. And I want to remind you about the top 3 donor prizes. Those are pretty big. We have a one-night stay at La Cantera Resort and Spa, so that's pretty cool. Also have a 2-night stay at the Charles Nagelin House in Castroville, Texas. And then also there's a complimentary portrait session. It's like a package. That mini session is by Picture Us here. It's a local group, Picture Us. And I got some good news. Speaking of donations, we received another over $1,400 in donations. And this brings our total to $2,100 of donations. So I just want to thank you. This is great from the start of our program to now. So thank you so much for donating. And speaking of donating, to donate to Girls on the Run, you can text DREAM to the number on your screen, or you can visit the link on your screen for more information. I wanted to thank the donors again so much for donating to our program. So obviously, I think the reason that we are seeing these donations, that Girls on the Run has had a great impact on our community. So San Antonio certainly showed up in support of Girls on the Run, and we want to take a look at that right now.
Congratulations, Girls on the Run, on your 10th birthday. The Burnham Gray team is thrilled for you. From everything you've accomplished to all that you have in store, you have a bright future ahead of you.
We had the honor of working with your staff and volunteer teams throughout 2019 on strengthening your organization's operations, fundraising, marketing, and communications.
While working on those tasks, we grew to truly love and appreciate your mission and commitment to inspiring girls to be joyful, healthy, and confident. You welcomed us warmly into your family, and we had the privilege to participate in a handful of your 5K runs. What motivation to be surrounded by girls with energy and grit, and all of their families and coaches demonstrating their support for those young women.
The passion, love, and energy that your staff and volunteers show daily is contagious. We are so proud of you.
Congratulations, Girls on the Run of Bexar County.
Congratulations to Girls on the Run on your 10th anniversary. I'm Steve Seeker, and I had a chance to attend one of the 5K runs at the invitation of my daughter, Sally Seeker. I was surprised it was so much more than a run. It was a pageant of capes and costumes, face painting and hairdos and camaraderie. The run was along a route which doubled back on itself and I had some thoughts about taking a shortcut, but I took a picture at the turn around to prove that I finished the whole 3 miles. But I was probably the only one thinking that way. Everyone else was proud of participating and finishing in fine style. What a wonderful way to build self-esteem and pride in your accomplishments. Keep it up, Girls on a Run.
On behalf of Street to Feet, we would just like to say congratulations, Girls on the Run, for 10 incredible years of amazing work and inspiring so many young ladies in the San Antonio community. We have been so appreciative to be a volunteer group at your annual 5K. It inspires us so much to see the great work that you do, and we look forward to many more years.
Hi, Michelle from iRun, Texas, and congratulations and happy anniversary. 10 years. Wow. It's been a real pleasure to work with you not only as a coach, but as a sponsor. It's been great to see what you've been able to accomplish over the years, and we can't wait to see what's in store for you over the next 10 years. We're very proud of you. We enjoy working with your group and seeing the girls grow not only as runners, but in their own personal lives as well. We hope that we'll be able to continue to be a partner with you throughout the years. Again, congratulations. Keep running, whether we're running together or running apart. We're still a community, and it's been a real honor. Thanks again for letting us be a part of such an inspiring group. Happy 10 years.
Congratulations on 10 years. It's been an honor and a privilege to photograph and film for you over the years, and it's been a joy to watch the program grow.
One of my favorite things being there on race days is watching the pride and joy on each one of the girls as part of the organization when they accomplish a challenge and a goal. And it's not just there, it ripples through their friends, their family, their siblings, their running buddies, and even us as photographers. It's palpable. You can see the energy, you can see the pride that they have, and that is something that they'll take not just through the rest of the season with Girls on the Run, but through the rest of their lives, knowing that they can accomplish a tough challenge and goal. And for that, we have been so proud to see the organization grow year after year. The last 10 years have been remarkable, and we are extremely excited to see what the next decade holds for y'all. Congratulations again.
Congratulations, Girls on the Run, on these amazing 10 years. As part of Frost Inc., we are truly honored to support an organization that believes in the power of our young girls in our community. Keep up the great work, and cheers to many more.
Congratulations, Girls on the Run, for a successful 10 years of encouraging girls and giving them the confidence to do anything they set their mind to. Looking forward to many more.
Girls on the Run has the potential to make a huge impact on the community by empowering young women and girls who will become our leaders of the future. And not only that, I've seen how it affects families as well, getting them involved, teaching them lessons that the girls that bring home with them, getting them active. I see whole families come out to the 5K to run, and that community building is what will make our community stronger in the long run.
I think at the beginning it was very hard to get funders and sponsors interested in us because we were a new item, not tested in the community. But I think now, after time, the funders and the sponsors see what we've accomplished with the girls and what the girls are doing and how they're growing, and that we're stable, we're still here. And so I think they're investing in us at this point in time, and therefore investing in the community.
The community seeing the 5K and bringing all those girls together along with their families, it's a huge impact. And hopefully they'll see that the girls are learning and growing and becoming healthy at the same time. And that's something that this community really needs.
You know, as soon as we start, we tell them, well, hi, welcome, we're working towards a 5K. And they're like, a what? We're like, yeah, it's this long race. And at first they're like, oh no, I can't do it. But then the day of, they show up and you've got all this adrenaline and people showing up with signs and cheering you on. And our girls just find something within them that gets them to the finish line. So they learn how to be persistent and chase their dreams.
If you haven't experienced the camaraderie and the amount of community support at the 5K runs, it's really something to see. It's really just amazing at the amount of people that come out to support the girls. And so it's quite a large event, larger than you might think. And then when you get out there and you see all the people, and I think the underlying feeling is just positive. Everyone's just positive.
I really felt happy at the end because there were just a lot of people cheering me on and going like, yeah, you did it. And so I felt really powerful at the time, so I sprinted, and it was awesome.
Culture here at Girls on the Run Bexar County is unique in its own way. It's a very collaborative culture. I feel like as a volunteer, I'm able to come in and my voice is heard, and everybody's important, everybody has their own task, and they can take ownership of what they're doing, and it ultimately informs the goal and the mission that we have in place. And I can see the direct impact that we have, and I think that comes from that culture. It also starts from the top down, so it starts with our executive director and feeds into the board, our active board, and goes into the leadership teams and all of the people that are involved. We all have one unique goal in mind and one mission, and that's really what makes us successful as a program.
The nonprofits that I've worked with and the leaders that I've met welcome each other with open arms. It's like really they are here to collaborate with each other, to partner in a true sense, and it's not just lip service. And so there are a lot of really great organizations here, and there are really good organizations that serve girls. Specifically, we have that physical component that ties with the SEL component, social emotional learning component, and those two things fit together in a way that's unique from other organizations. So we don't look at other girl or groups as competitors. They're our partners, and we're all trying to find ways to make girls better and make girls healthier and make girls see their own value. And so we always look for ways that we can help each other to do that.
You know, Girls on the Run is throughout Bexar County. It's all across the city of San Antonio and the surrounding areas. So I just think the importance of, you know, we keep growing and we keep, you know, getting more girls involved, and that's just spreading. These girls are teaching these lessons to their friends and to their family, and they're getting more girls involved, and so it's just kind of like never ending how it can touch everybody.
I think the community should support this program because it not only gets the girls being physical, but it's such a powerful growth opportunity for them to realize the potential that they have and to see that potential in each other.
These girls are going to give their values that they've learned in Girls on the Run. They're going to bring that to their kids and their daughters, and those daughters are going to bring that to those daughters. And now we have a whole line of generations of women who are, you know, incorporating the standards and the values of Girls on the Run in their lives. And I mean, that's just amazing.
Another thing that keeps me coming back is our volunteers. When I look at people that I don't know that well, or, you know, see them out with their girls and hear them talk, and I think, wow, look at what this is doing to you. Look at what this is doing to the families and to the community. And it's huge. It blows my mind and it blows me away to see so much love, I guess.
And so we've seen it more than once tonight, how Girls on the Run Bexar County offers a safe space for not only the girls, but also the volunteers. And those lessons, of course, they're for the girls, but they're also for the coaches. And in the end, it has a big impact, not only on the participants, but also on our community. And joining me right now is Sally Seeker, who is also a board chair with Girls on the Run Bexar County, and she's here to talk about that great impact. Now, Sally, I just want to let everybody know that you were actually a running buddy. That was one of your roles. Was the Jingle Bell Run? It was like one of the first runs here?
Yes, definitely quite a few years ago, and it was cold.
It was cold. You remember, so you do remember. Well, thank you so much for joining us, Sally. Wanted to ask you. I know you've done a lot for Girls on the Run, but what impact has this had on you?
It's had quite a bit of an impact. I had been getting back to running for myself, and was directing other races, and I really saw the impact of the Girls on the Run program. That it's not just a running program or a training program, that it develops the girl and then the team and the community. So I found a lot of those lessons resonate for myself, as well as the take a breather one, for instance.
And on that note, I see that you have been in your element as race director for the annual Girls on the Run Spring 5K. And I just, so you've been doing this for a long time. What made you want to get involved with Girls on the Run to begin with? I guess getting back to running as well?
Yes, I had personally gotten back to running, and I was directing other races, and I was approached by one of the first board members at another 5K, and she said, "You should look into this program." And I really found the program itself fascinating from the outside, but at that point, my real job, didn't allow me the time to coach. So that's when I started as a running buddy, and then I raised money as a soulmate when I ran the Chicago Marathon. And then little by little, I kept getting drawn into the program and came on board as a board member and the race director, and then eventually as the board chair.
Have you always been a runner?
I was, to a certain extent. My sister and I used to run in the evenings at the YMCA. And it was one of those tracks where it's 18 times around the basketball court and it's a mile. But we always just went for time and maybe to watch the guys play basketball. But I was never really competitive. And then I was in the Army for 5 years. And as soon as I got out of the Army, I decided that nobody was ever going to make me run again. And several years down the road, I was going through some emotional issues and relationship issues, and saw a flyer for a race, and remembered that I used to like to run, and it was the good thing for me to do for myself. So all of a sudden I was back running, and that same sister later tricked me into running a marathon with her.
Well, we're glad to have you with the program. I just wanted to also ask, I know it's kind of hard maybe to search your memory because you've been involved with the program for a long time, but what is probably, your favorite story to share with people about Girls on the Run?
Oh gosh, yes, there are so many. I think one is about our volunteers are very much a big part of our program, from the board members to the coaches to our myriad of other volunteers. But it's another one where we were having problems at the 5K, because sometimes you have technical problems in this life. But our power went out, and we were scheduled to have the national anthem as a recording. And so we had one bullhorn, and Minka, our executive director, called over Mr. Ernest Battle. He came running over, and we asked him, "Can you sing the national anthem?" And he said, when? And we're like, in about 4 minutes. And he just walked to the side, took a drink of water, warmed up however vocal people do, climbed up on that scaffold and belted it out like I've never heard before. From memory, no warm up. And that's how a lot of the volunteers, and he's sung for us every time since then, of course. But that's how all of our volunteers are. And the girls see that and embody that as well through our program.
I'm going to take you back to your position as board chair. What do you think Girls on the Run needs most from the community right now?
Well, I am a board chair of a nonprofit, so of course, every board chair would say donations, monetary donations and in-kind donations, and especially when we have 5Ks. But we also need the volunteers, whether it's a one-time volunteer opportunity or during the season as a coach, or even we're always looking for volunteer board members. So time, talent, money, of course, and then just awareness that when you see one of our girls or somebody with a Girls on the Run shirt in our community, give them a hello and let them know that you know about the program.
Sally Seeker, I thank you so much for joining us today. Of course, Sally telling us the stories about how much this kind of an organization supports the community as much as it does. Girls on the Run program is inspired by that community and that coaches who mentor them. So they grow up and they have kids of their own, and they bring the healthy habits that they learn on Girls on the Run, like we heard earlier from Christina, and the social intelligence that helps them deal with the tough and challenging times. And they're teaching that to their children. So we're already starting to see that happen here.
What strikes me the most over the past 10 years was starting with just a couple of sites here in San Antonio, and now it's growing exponentially every year, and we're all over the city, and everyone knows what Girls on the Run is. It's really exciting to see the impact that it's had in the community and to see girls walking around town with a Girls on the Run shirt and just know that we were a part of helping build something beyond us and bigger than us.
The first season, I was a little worried about how many girls we would have. The second season, I was at capacity. So it grew just in, a matter of months. And I can see that it will spread to other schools as they kind of see all the positive effects that it has for the girls. I would like to see them do the heart and soul in the middle school, so some of these girls coming up from elementary will be able to carry that on into the middle school as well.
I would like to see us in every school in the city, and I know there's a lot, in Bexar County, and actually expand to Como and other counties too.
It gives the girls something to do, one, after school. It keeps the girls healthy because we're always in motion. And it also is teaching the girls life lessons that they may not normally get. And now we're empowering young women once they come out of elementary school, middle school, and high school, college, to be our next leaders. And Girls on the Run is definitely the program that does that. So if the community were to back that, they're only setting the community up for a win, because we're going to have a bunch of young women coming out that are ready to take charge.
When people hear Girls on the Run, oh, you teach girls running, like you used to run track in college, you teach them, coaching lessons, do you do drills with them? And I'm like, that's just the tip of the iceberg. That's just kind of the name of the organization, and there's so much more. It's more about leadership and confidence and communication.
Getting girls excited about doing these activities and not so much about your appearance, but about what you bring to the table with, your discussion and your physical capability. I think it's a great program.
It just made me and my friends that were there, made us all better people.
We need more people who are passionate and want to reach the girls and to take the program out to them. I suspect we're going to need more funding. I mean, we are a fee-based program, but we never turn a girl away based on financial need. So every girl who needs a scholarship gets it. 77% of our girls got scholarships, and that's a lot. And we want to keep doing that. We want to be everywhere where a girl wants us.
Being in a Title I school, my girls don't have the money to afford this. Having the scholarships for them is huge. Because if it wasn't for that, they really wouldn't be able to participate. I mean, we would make it happen because I know that we have, our Glen Oaks family is so strong that I know that the teachers would come together, staff members would come together to make it happen for them. But we're just very grateful for the opportunity to serve our girls, to serve the community.
And we are definitely a volunteer-driven organization. So we can't do the work we do without our volunteers. We have coaches who are volunteers who facilitate the program, and they're out there with our girls making sure that things happen. We have other kinds of what we call core volunteers. Leadership teams is what we call the groups of people who really make sure that our infrastructure works well. So a marketing team, a community outreach team, and then a grant writing team. And so those teams are pretty much comprised of volunteers who do some pretty serious work for us. As staff and as board, we're here to support them because we can't do what we do if they can't support the girls.
We're seeing people come back to the program that have gone through it, and it's amazing to see the impact that's spread more than just the season that the girls are in or the time that they're a part of the program. And to me, that's a sign of a really strong program and something that's built well and something that will last the test of time.
You needed every single piece of this program, to really make this beautiful picture at the end.
And something that just needs to grow and grow is just have strong women role models and figures. And so for me, getting to be just a piece of that for those girls is so special and something I take really seriously.
I feel like women are not always given the same opportunities in life. A lot of times women are not seen as equal, and I feel that having a program in which we empower our girls and we ignite something, we light up a fire inside of them. They can just go out and conquer the world. I mean, and it's just, we are putting in something that we might not see results right away, but we are eventually going to see these girls flourish into amazing women.
It's so important. I mean, this next generation and every generation following us, I mean, we have to learn and we have to build, and, you know, I'm grateful that I'm able to have an impact on that, and, you know, being able to take my experiences, take my life, and give that to the girls.
If you have the time, you should volunteer to be a coach for at least one season. That was my plan, one season. And look at me now, season on season 11. You will just fall in love with the program. You just gotta jump in with both feet and do it.
It's perhaps the teachers who make up the biggest portion of the volunteers for Girls on the Run, Bexar County. And joining me now as one of Girls on the Run, Bexar County is one of the best teachers, Laura Moody. Thank you so much for joining us. She's an elementary school teacher at Bob Beard Elementary with Northside ISD. You know, there's a lot of things that the girls are learning through this program, and I wanted you to explain first the component of social emotional learning.
It's become a big thing right now, especially with COVID and everything, trying to really build those kids up and make them really kind of aware of their feelings and how they can react to their feelings, how they can take care of themselves, and how they can advocate for themselves. And it's built into just about, to everything that we do in Girls on the Run.
And we were just talking about you being an elementary school teacher.
Mm-hmm.
What grades do you teach?
I teach second grade.
Second grade. So it's kind of the same grades that you're, I was going to say, I guess third graders primarily that you're with?
So a lot of the girls that I wind up having in my Girls on the Run group are girls that I have known because they've been their teacher previous years.
Is that cool to have that connection?
It is amazing, and it makes a huge difference to some of them.
And for the people at home, tell us a little bit about how long you've been with Girls on the Run.
I finished in the spring. I finished my 10th season, so 5 years. And I'm coming to take a break this season because of the pandemic. So
right, it's been different for a lot of us with the program. And then we just talked about social emotional learning skills that you see. Tell me what is important to young kids, particularly girls and girls in the 3rd and 5th grade when it comes to this component?
I think the biggest thing is them, when we go through the lessons, them finding ways to put them into practice. For some of our girls, learning that they can talk about their feelings or they can articulate their feelings to other people. As they are going through just their everyday. And we talk a lot about how can we put this into practice? What can we do just between now and the next time that we meet? How can you use this? And our girls will come back and say, I did the take a breather, I used it, I did it. I had a little girl who was not very in touch with her feelings and didn't really know how to express herself except to get very frustrated. And one day as we were walking and we were doing our laps and she was mad, and I said, can you tell me what's wrong? And she said, well, she doesn't want to run with me. She doesn't want to be my friend. And I said, you know what? I bet you know something that can help you. And she thought about it for a minute and she said, that lesson we did. And I said, mm-hmm. And so we practiced together as we were walking, and she practiced, I feel, and she was wanting to tell her friend that she was frustrated because she didn't want to play with her anymore. And she was able to use all of that. And we practiced as we ran. And then she said, I think I can do it. And she took off on a lap. And I looked back and the two were walking together, and they were able to work it out. And it was all because she was able to put what she needed into words and ask for that and express herself.
I bet that was cool to see that happen in front of you.
It was amazing, especially for this one little girl.
That's awesome. You're a teacher. You're with students all day. I know it's not a short day, but you still are volunteering with Girls on the Run. This is after you're with your students in class all day. Tell me, why did you get involved with Girls on the Run?
I was doing, I was on a group on Facebook. They were talking about running. It was running group. And somebody mentioned Girls on the Run. And this was midway through a week. And then that following Saturday, I was at a 5K and saw the Girls on the Run table. And I thought, is this coincidence? Maybe I need to do something. And I mentioned it to a friend of mine, and she said, let's go talk to them. And we went and talked and got information and got started because we knew that this was something our girls needed. And this would provide such a great outlet for them. And as we talk about as us teachers, it's also a great way for us to connect with our girls, connect with the families at our school. And we get a quick free workout twice a week too. So
There's a lot of benefits.
There's a lot of benefits.
Where do you see Girls on the Run going, from here?
I think we've already had to, they keep using the word, we all had to pivot. And so really looking at, they're able to do this virtually and being able to tweak the program and kind of look at how can we do this in a different way. And I think that's huge because we're all doing that right now. And for our girls, they all learn in different ways. And so this may be a way to get in some girls that maybe we hadn't reached yet. And then that word spreads and the next thing you know, maybe next season, hopefully everything works out and, we'll have a bigger, better group.
That's awesome, Laura. Thank you so much for joining us today, and thank you so much for being a volunteer and making a difference in all these girls' lives. Wanted to, on that note, we could use more volunteers. Girls on the Run has inspired a lot of people and has a big impact on the community as a whole. We've heard a lot about the importance of social emotional learning. We've also heard a lot about managing emotion and resolving conflict, helping others. So Girls on the Run is a lot more than just running. So how does Girls on the Run reach the girls in Bexar County, Comal, Kendall, and the surrounding areas? That's perhaps where you come in, where you can help. So, right now, Girls on the Run is set up at a lot of schools, and we heard from Minka Mansanji earlier how she'd like to see the program expand maybe to other venues, maybe, maybe some more churches or more clubs who would like to host Girls on the Run. Also, if you'd like to become a volunteer, and not just a volunteer coach. I know everybody has busy schedules. Maybe if you'd like to maybe participate in a 5K as a running buddy, or maybe help set up with, before or after. There's so many ways that you can help Girls on the Run, and it would be great to see the community come forward and keep this wonderful program just going. And, of course, on the note, Girls on the Run always could use funds. I want to go back to talking about how you guys can donate at home. Just to donate to Girls on the Run, you can text DREAM, DREAM, and that's to the number that you've been seeing on your screen all night long. So I want to thank those who have donated so far, those who have participated so far, and just want to let you know that last year over 70% of the girls received this assistance. This is the assistance so every girl can participate. So there is a fee for girls to join this program, but if they can't pay, it is paid for them, so everyone can participate. And there's even some of the girls even get tennis shoes. So this is great, reaching all walks of life. And speaking of great coaches, I want to introduce you to coaches who have helped create this space. Girls on the Run Bexar County, incredibly fortunate to have so many wonderful role models with the program who share their time, their attention, and their love with all the girls and with all the volunteers. So we have two of them here tonight, of course. We just heard from Laura Moody, and we're going to also hear from Lori Hicks.
the two Lauras. We're so grateful to you for all the time and love and attention you've given to your girls over the years. You both started coaching with us actually the same season, fall 2015, and you coached through 10 consecutive seasons. Lori, you're on your 11th season, and Laura is taking a very short one-season break, and she'll be back this spring. But we are very pleased and honored to present you with the Stand By Her Award for longest tenured coach. You might recognize the name, might sound a little bit familiar. It's actually named after a Girls on the Run lesson, being a stand-byer. And the point of being a stand-byer is to stand up for yourself and for others, and that's what you guys do. So thank you so much for your time. We wanted to ask you a couple questions, and Lori, we'll start with you. What is it that keeps you coming back to Girls on the Run?
The hopes that I get a return girl or girls that have been through the program before, so that I can see how they've been able to use the tools that we've taught them in their everyday lives outside of school. So in their community, at church, maybe other organizations they've been in. And when they let me know that they have been able to use them, it just reaffirms that Girls on the Run is an outstanding program.
Well, that's great. And Laura, what about you?
We have built such a program at Beard that I hear from kindergartners and first grade girls and second grade girls who are ready to be Girls on the Run. And they see us around school, they see us on the morning announcements, and they'll see me in the hall and they'll say, "You're the Girls on the Run teacher. I want to be in Girls on the Run." And they are so excited because they see our girls as leaders, and they want to be part of that, and it's pretty cool.
So why is Girls on the Run so meaningful to you? Lori, why don't you start?
Girls on the Run allows me to use two of my passions, which is teaching and working with children. I took a completely different career path instead of being a teacher, which is what I wanted. But at Girls on the Run, I get to teach the girls the skills that will empower them, that they can use outside of school, and hopefully take these tools with them the rest of their lives and come up and grow up to be our empowered leaders of the future.
Which is what we need. And Laura?
I know that when I saw the program, my first thought was, where was this when I was their age? Where was this program to get these girls up and moving and to learn all of these tools that would make them more confident and more successful? The things that we teach these girls, I think my peers and I have all learned, but we've had to learn them as we've gone. And to have had those tools from the beginning would have been huge.
Yeah, for all of us, I think, who are adults. Well, you mean a lot to us, and I know you've meant a lot to your girls over the years, and so we just wanted to say thank you. And we wanted to present you with a gift from Aftershocks, so we hope that you enjoy. Thank you so much. Here's to 10 more years, 10 more seasons.
I'll be
Thank
here.
you. Okay. And so Girls on the Run is really happy to have such great donors who help us meet the needs of the girls no matter where they live or what their zip code is. We're really grateful to all the donors who've helped us over the years to make sure that girls who need the program, no matter where they live or what their financial situation is, that they too can take the program.
Yes, Girls on the Run Bear County relies on the generosity of their kind donors like yourself to ensure that the programming reaches every girl who wants it, just like Mika said. But also, no donation is too small or too big, and we want to see who the top 3 donors are of the evening. And just to let you know, the top 3 donors, they're going to be getting a one-night stay at La Cantera Resort and Spa, and that is breakfast as well. A 2-night stay at the Charles Naglin House in Castroville, Texas. That's another one. And then a 3rd complimentary portrait mini session. This is by Picture Us, the local studio here in San Antonio. Also wanted to say, this is an exciting update that we have. In the very beginning of this program, we actually had a donation of about more than $700, and now, Mika, we have more than $4,500 in donations.
Wow.
That is the latest number. So thank you
you
so much for donating. And then, we've been having fun too. This is some people have been playing trivia at home. Of course, you're going to get one of these medals for playing the trivia game. I think we have, I don't know if we have a list of the top 20 trivia players. There you go. There's the leaderboard right there. So thank you guys for playing this game. And of course, you're getting cool prizes like the medal I just showed you and the $10 gift card to Mama Margie's, Whataburger, Chick-fil-A, or Starbucks. And so congratulations to those people. And thank you again for your donations. And also, I just wanted to say, Mika, just we have a special surprise for you and to thank you for your hard work, your dedication, and you mean so much to the program and mean so much to the girls at home and to everybody who's volunteered. So thank you.
Well, thank you.
We would like to, on behalf of everyone in Girls on the Run Bexar County, present you with the Star Power Award. And I'm going to have to read this so that I can keep it on the down. But the success of Girls on the Run Bexar County has you in its story. For 10 years, you've given of yourself to this worthy cause and mission. You even volunteered as the executive director when we were just a young organization. Your strong vision, ideas, strength, and dedication have produced positive results for Girls on the Run Bexar County directly and indirectly in our community. In your passion for this program, the girls, coaches, volunteers in the San Antonio community and surrounding counties is evident. Please, on behalf of all of us, accept a small token of our appreciation for your service and commitment for the last decade. Happy anniversary. And here's to the next 10 years. Here's the Star Power Award.
Aw, thank you.
Emotional?
A little bit.
How does it feel, Mika?
Wow. Yeah, I think I'm one of the lucky people who found something I love and people I love. And I'm just really grateful to everybody. And I can't wait to do this for 10 more years.
We can't wait to see the program grow, and we are very grateful to have you. And thank you to all of you at home for joining us to celebrate Girls on the Run 10-year anniversary. This is a huge milestone for everyone, for the coaches, all the volunteers, and even for the students to see the program grow so much. And so thank you for joining us tonight. And you can visit the Decade of Dreams landing page on the Girls on the Run's Bexar County website to see the full interviews from tonight. And also, don't forget, you saw all these beautiful pictures throughout the program. So go ahead and post your pictures to the website or to your social media pages. Just use at GOTRC, and you can also use hashtag Girls on the Run Bear County Decade of Dreams. So we'd like to see your pictures, share them with us. And just a reminder, it's never too late to donate. Every little bit helps. We want to make sure that this program will be there for every student who wants to participate. So for now, Minka and I will leave you with some music by Angela Caporale, and we want to thank you again for joining us.
And thank you, Stephanie, for being our host.
Oh, thank you. It's been a pleasure. You guys have a great evening.
Thank you. Thank you.